I hope your day's going wonderful. I'm back again to share a project with you. This time we're using 2 Spellbinders Club kits for January 2023. We have this clear stamp and die of the month club kit. It's called Just Because. And it's all about bees. Love it. And then you also have a coordinating die set if you have the stamp and die set. Spellbinders also has just the stamp set. And I'll leave both of the clubs down below if you guys want to check it out. But I'm also going to be using the embossing folder of the month club kit for January. It's called Branching Out. And it has a beautiful leafy pattern in here. Let me show you. And we'll be using both of these on our cards today. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. I already took my images out and put them in my stamping positioner. I was ready to go. I'm going to bring in my Memento ink and I'm going to go over a couple of the bumblebees, the honey pot, and then also there's a floral image that's just beautiful. Let me stamp it here. Okay, press down really good. I have 2 sentiments. I have Just Because, and I have Happy Birthday. And then we have 2 bumblebees, the honey pot, and you see this floral here. Let me zoom in just a little bit so you can see better. You see this beautiful floral? This is really pretty if you wanted to re-stamp it one more time on the reverse side like this, and it will create a card front with a open area that you could put the honey pot, or you could put the greeting here, thanks for being so sweet, would fit in the middle of that. We're not going to do that today. We're going to create 2 separate cards. I really think the honey pot's cute. But the nice thing is you have the option of creating a panel, a half panel or a full panel, like I mentioned, just flip it around. But there's 2 floral dies in here that will die cut out the images that we're going to be coloring in. It'll die cut out this flower here, and the bumblebee. So we have dies here, here, and here that would cut these out. So that's a nice little bonus. I'm going to put this off to the side. I'm going to actually I'll color in 1 honey pot, and then off camera I'll color in 1 more because I want 2 for one of my cards today. Now I'm not going to color in the entire floral here. I'm just going to do these flowers and the bumblebee. So let's zoom in. I'm going to play some music while I color, and when I'm done coloring, I will catch you back. is all done. Now what we're going to do is take the coordinating dies, and let me show you what I mean. These dies here will cut out both of these florals on the left and the right. You can't do the bumblebee at the same, you can do the flowers at the same time, but you can't do this bumblebee, but you have a die that will cut this one out. Okay, so I'll go back and cut that out, but I can cut out the rest of the bumblebees and both of my greetings. And of course I'll tape all of these down. I'm going to zoom back out, and then I'm going to do a little bit more die cutting with some cardstock. Today I'm bringing in my postage edge rectangles from Spellbinders, and we're going to bring in some Spellbinders fog cardstock. I'm going to create a background panel with the largest postage edge. Okay, and then with these two, I'm going to use white cardstock and create some card front panels with this. And I am thinking I can probably cut 2 of these out here. Yes. I'm going to die cut out my background panels, my images, including the bumblebee here, and then I will be right back. I have everything die cut out, and I also went ahead and colored in one more, and I cut that out, and I colored in one more bumblebee here that was open for my card today. Okay, and I separated them, so these are going to go on one card, and then these are going to go on another. Now I'm going to create a background using our embossing folders to do some layering. I'm going to take some of the Spellbinders fog cardstock. I'm going to put this in my embossing folder. And oh, you know what? I wanted to share with you something new the Spellbinders has. This is the Spellbinders Mighty Mister Bottle. If you guys need a mister bottle for watercolor to mist your paper, this will work great. It's a real fine mist. On the package it tells you what you could use. It's also great for embossing, especially. This is the embossing folder of the month club kit. There's 2. One's a 3D embossing folder of the month club kit, and then one's just a regular 2D. This is the 2D, the regular embossing folder. But misting your paper with a 3D before running it through your die cut machine really does soften the fibers of the cardstock, so it doesn't tear your paper. So this is a nice little investment. This would be nice to put alcohol in also, because if you get alcohol on your desk, you could spray it, or if you use dye-based inks in your betta press, this works really good for that too. So it's a nice little handy spray bottle. I'll link it if you guys are interested, but it's a very well-made bottle. Let me show you. You just unscrew the top and you would fill it up, and then it locks in place, and then the nozzle is here, and you spray the front. I'm going to spray my cardstock just to show you what it does. Technically with a 2D you don't have to, but you just spray. It mists the paper, and then you can go ahead and run this through your die cut machine, and it's really nice fine mist. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and use my heat gun to help dry this since it is a little bit moist, and then we're going to adhere this to our card front. I'm going to use my tape runner, flip it around, and I'm going to use my Spellbinders tape runner. This works really well with the pop-up foam. And I'm out. It works really well with the pop-up foam, and it also works really well with embossing. And look at, there's a lot in here too. It lasts a really long time. To refill it, it's very easy. You just pop this out. There's this piece here. You just drop it in, and then you snap them closed, and voila. Pretty easy peasy to refill. But if you watercolor in your paper warps, you want a strong adhesive, this works great for that too. I'm going to go ahead and place this on the front of a top folding A2 size card base Once we have this adhered, I'm bringing in a white pigment ink pad, and I'm going to add, since this is fog, fog is a very pale gray. You can compare it here to this. So this is going to be very light, but you'll still be able to, if you go over it, it just makes it stand out a little bit more. I'm going to go over that embossed area. You can kind of see the difference between the two. Now, since this is a pigment ink, it does take a little bit of time to dry. So I'm going to set this aside and we're going to work on our background panel. I have something else new from Spellbinders. And these things are so fluffy. I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending on this background panel. And I'm going to be using the large blending brushes that Spellbinders has now. These come in a 2-pack. I haven't used them before, and we're going to give them a try. Spellbinders has some smaller ones, and the smaller ones, let me show you. Now, this is Spellbinders regular sized blending brushes, but can you see the size difference? The handles are the same size, but this is like a Mac Daddy of a brush. Oh my gosh, and it's so soft. It is softer than these bristles here from the Spellbinders smaller brushes. These are way softer. So let's use these together, shall we? So I thought we would try these out, even though it's not even Try It Out Tuesday. Let's give it a go. I'm going to be using some Distress Oxide ink and add a little color here. I think this goes really good with the colors of flowers that I used. And oh wow, it does pick up a lot of color with ease. It's kind of hard to get a first impression when they're not saturated or anything, so I'll let you know if I like these or not in the future. But so far so good. I'm going to take this panel, flip it around. I'm going to add some adhesive behind here. We're going to add this to our postage edge. Wonderful. Now, I always think bumblebees and black and white baker's twine go great together. So I'm going to bring in some black and white baker's twine. This is just twine I had in my stash. The nice thing about the postage edge is it kind of has those notches to where your baker's twine is not going to go anywhere, which is always nice. Okay, I'm going to flip this around. We're going to add some of the, you see how this just glides over that pop-up foam? So nice. My dot liner doesn't do that. Okay, let's tack this down right in the middle of our card. And then I did put some foam squares behind the florals, and I thought we'd create a corner with them. And then we will add our greeting. We're going to make this one the happy birthday card right in the top. Okay, for this card, I'm going to bring in some of my Spellbinders gems. I'm going to use the gold mix. In the gold mix, there's two different colors. One's more brassy, I would say. The other one's more gem-it. That looks more like a gem. So I'm going to use the ones that look more like a gem. And I'm going to add a few of the smaller ones in the center. Well, we're going to add a gem to the center of these flowers. We want to sparkle it up. And that will finish off my first card. We have a little sparkle here. Now we're going to jump right in to our next card. For our next card, we're going to bring back our embossing folder. And this time we're going to open it up, and I'm going to find the side that recessed, not recessed, that sticks out. Like this one indents and then this one sticks out. So I'm going to put my card panel here, and then I'm going to use an ink pad for this. I'm using a light gray. This is Misty Coast from Pink Fresh Studio. And I'm going to go ahead and add ink to this side of the embossing folder. It doesn't look like I'm adding anything because the ink is very light, but it's going to be comparable to the fog cardstock that we used. I'm going to close the lid. I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. Okay, let's go ahead and open it. And isn't that so pretty? Basically, it does the opposite of what we did with our first card. Since the white is on the top, we are putting the color in the recessed part. So I'm going to trim this down so it'll fit on the inside of my postage edge, just using my paper trimmer. So this measures 3 inches wide by 4 1/4 inches tall. And this will fit perfectly on the inside of my postage edge. I'm going to bring back my baker's twine, but this time I'm just going to go around a few times with the entire card front, and then we'll tie a bow here. Okay. We're going to place our honey pots. I'm going to kind of layer 2 together, kind of overlapping. When I do that, I just add 1 foam square. So let's go ahead and layer these. I went ahead and colored in 1 more bumblebee. I think for this card, 3 is a good number. And we'll go ahead and fill in here. Yeah, I think that's just what it needed. Okay, I'm going to add a few gems to this card. Kind of tuck that bow under that bumblebee. And then that will finish off my second card. Okay, and then that will finish off my second card. Some fun ways to use the embossing folder, and using the clear stamp and die of the month club kit from Spellbinders. I'll list everything down below if you're interested. And if you guys want to see still shots, I always leave my blog post that coordinates with my project down below too. If you click on that, you can see the still shots. But thanks for joining me. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.